Hi, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Ask a Witch. I'm Katrina Rasbold, and I have been a witch for just under 40 years. And for the last 10 or so years of that, I've worked as a professional witch doing spell work for other people and giving advice to people who have questions about witchcraft. I do all of this through crossroadsoccult.com. And if you want to find out more about me, you can go to katrinarasbold.com and check that out. It's linked below in the description. So, in this video series, what I do is answer questions that people have put to me as a teacher and as a witch in the public forum. And I figure if other people are wondering that answer, then you might be too. So, I don't beg you to subscribe or um, to hit the bell or anything like that. The people that are meant to find this are going to find it. So bless your heart for being here. Anyway, the first question we have for today, and we're just going to do one at a time. So I guess it's the only question for today, is what's the deal with flying ointment and witches flying on broomsticks? And the fat of unbaptized babies also comes into play with that. So we're going to take that apart a little bit at a time here because there's lots of angles on it. For one thing, let's get into the baby thing. When we were in the times, I would say, the 1800s was when witchcraft really started to become heavily maligned. In the later times of Henry VIII's court was when the persecution really started to heat up. And the Christian church was putting out a real campaign against the witches. Now, we can go into a whole conversation about why that was, and it was primarily women who were being persecuted, and it was anybody who was doing things like astrology or just praying in the wrong way. And basically, it was land holding females that were the problem that were really targeted. Anyway, during that smear campaign that was happening where witches were being maligned, they tried to think of what were the most deplorable things you could say about somebody. And the two things that really floated to the surface were number one, that they worship the devil. That's another installment of Ask a Witch. And the other is that they use the fat of unbaptized babies in their flying ointment. Now, that was not a primary component to the best of my knowledge. The primary component in flying ointment tended to be belladonna that was put into a salve of some kind. And that was then used to astral travel and vision. And so they would possibly have the impression that they were flying. And the thing about this belladonna salve is that it tended to be absorbed better through the mucous membranes and the thinnest part of the body in that respect. And so women would often apply the flying ointment to the mucous membranes of their lady bits. And there are rumors about broomsticks being involved with that. So I was not there. I cannot say, but that's some of the places that those rumors come from. Um, Historically, witches are not able to fly. I have not mastered the art of flight just yet. I'm 62, so I don't really expect that I will in the course of my lifetime. I also there's probably some unbaptized babies around me, but going to the trouble of boiling them down and rendering their fat and using that for my flying ointment, it's just a whole lot of work and it's not really what I'm looking to do. So I would say that historically, this is a myth. It didn't happen. It doesn't happen. The flying ointment, yeah, that was a thing, but it did not have the fat of unbaptized babies involved in it. It was probably, quite honestly, lard or something along those lines. So that's the deal with flying ointment, and the other rumors along with that. And I hope that that answers the question. There's a lot of things that come up in questions about witchcraft that really just the answer is no, that's not true. And here's why that came up. And in this case, it really was just to malign the idea of witchcraft and oh, look at the terrible things that the witches do. So no, we don't do that. And we didn't do that. But yeah, sometimes they'd get high on flying ointment and go out to the astral. So that's what I got on that. I hope that's helpful to you. And that's my story on the flying ointment. Y'all take care now. Bye bye.